You are, everybody. Welcome back. Seems to have been a while. I've lost a bit of my gaming mojo at the moment, really, but I thought I'd do a pickups video. We've got a bit near the end of the pickups. We've still got a few to get through. Though they have diminished somewhat because I had picked up a load of Spectrum games in recent months. And I've since sold them, so I've sold them before I've showed them, because I've thinned the Spectrum collection right down since I've had the, you know, like the Spectrum Mini, whatever you want to call it. Brilliant device. I'm never going to use original tapes again, so I sold them. Hence there'll be the massive list of pickups there was going to be, there now isn't. However, there are some. So it's all proper retro today. You might be thinking it's Atari because the hat, but it isn't. We've got Colecovision and we've got Famicom. So kind of half and half. So we'll do the Colecovision first. So if you're not interested, you can skip forward to the Famicom. Or if you're not interested in either, you can switch off. But yeah, Colecovision, what a console. Honestly, it gets no love, but it is fantastic. If you've never tried one, you know, thoroughly recommend you emulate it if you can, if you've got it on some device. Such a cool system. And it's such a nice looking system. That's beside the point really, but the games are real good quality. Much nearer Famicom and Master System than it is the Atari 2600, really. Feels a lot more advanced and much better quality games graphically. I'm not, you know, the Atari is brilliant, but obviously the graphics aren't great. They are much better on the Colecovision. Anyway, enough waffling. What have I done with them? Yeah, so we've got 6 to show today, and we'll start off with Venture. I'm only going cart only on these, like the Atari and the mouse part. Now this is kind of, I suppose it's a bit like Berserk. And you're in this kind of larger maze, and within it there are smaller rooms you've got to go and clear. And obviously you can see that they've changed the ones I've cleared. So it's kind of, like I say, it is kind of like Berserk, with a bit more variety, I suppose. By now means the greatest game on the system, but it's decent. However, we'll move on. Next up, we've got Space Fury. Behold the mighty Colecovision. what this one's like, if I'm honest. I'm currently using the new sort of 7800 controller in the Colecovision. Because it's got the two fire buttons that work like the Colecovision controller. Now this is kind of like Asteroids, as you can see, really. Sega game, actually, I believe, in the arcade. Upgraded my ship there. So yeah, again, not amazing, but decent little Asteroids clone. Right, next up, we've got Space Panic, which is this the one that's... No, I thought this was Sega for a minute then. I don't think it is. Oh yes, this is the platform game. I've just remembered what this is. Quite tricky this is. I can't remember. Oh yes, it's the one that's kind of like Loud Runner. So you make them fall into the hole in the platform and then you hammer them into the ground. It's not a bad little game. Let's get this last dude out for you. And there we go, first screen cleared. Not a bad little game, to be honest, this. Quite like it. Fun little sort of platformer. Right, next up, we've got Pitfall, obviously, on the 2600 as well. I love the rainbow Activision logo. Fantastic. And obviously this looks quite a bit nicer than the 2600 version. Fell down the bloody hole. I never liked this screen with the crocodiles. And we did. Anyway, I'm sure you've seen Pitfall before. Quite a good version, to be honest. Right, next up, we've got Cabbage Patch Kids. Obviously these were like massive in the 80s, so this would have been obviously very popular at the time, I'd imagine. really like this game. It's Konami, as you can see as well. Really good sort of platform game. Much in the vein of Smurf, really. I mean, fantastic graphics for the time. I know compared to now, but for the time, amazing graphics. But just like Smurf, really. And kind of Pitfall. I mean, it's very, obviously, it's very simplistic. Mistimed that. But anyway, there you go. You get an idea. Really good, proper, old school, basic but fun platformer. Right, last one on the Colecovision today. We've got a Parker cartridge and we've got Frogger. And this is absolutely fantastic. This is one of the ones you can't use this controller on. The one downside of the Colecovision is the nasty controller. I think Frogger's fantastic, but missed. However, I'm sure you've seen Frogger before, but that is an amazing version. So, quick jump cut here, and I'll turn the Famicom on. That's all the Colecovision stuff. So, back in a second. Right, we're back. Famicom. Amazing system. I was always a Master System kid. More or less disregarded the NES. Certainly at the time, never had one. Didn't know anybody with one. And then when I finally played on one, it seemed inferior to me. How wrong was I? Because the Famicom is way better than the Master System in my opinion. Not saying it performs better. There's just so many more cool games on it. Anyway, it's the old playground arguments, isn't it? It doesn't matter. Enjoy both. Anyway, first up, we've got Circus Charlie. Like I say, I was trying to get all the arcade conversions. This is an arcade from 85 by Konami. It says now, I don't know if that's the arcade or this version. Anyway, this is awesome. I don't know. You've probably played Circus Charlie, but again, it's such a simplistic game, but so cool. It's just the way I've gone lately. I just love these basic, original sort of arcade style games. So basically, it's a series of mini levels really, where you're doing various sort of circus acts to get through the level. Mistimed that one. And each level is like a different event, if you like. So it's kind of a, I suppose, a bit of a track and field style feel to it. So we've got to the end of that level, if you like, stage 1. And each level's kind of a variation on a theme, really. So now we tightrope walking, look. It's very basic, but what can I say? I'm basic. Such a cool game. I can't emphasise how good this is. So now we kind of, I don't know what these are, barrels or balls or something. This one's quite a bit trickier, but you get the idea. Really cool little game. Next up, we've got the third part of the Adventure Island games. Obviously Adventure Island 3. Obviously more of the same. Wonder Boy by another name, isn't it? There are some light RPG elements to this one, but you can tell it's Wonder Boy. Looks really nice. Cracking game. And there we go, the end of the first level. Like I say, cracking little game. I'm sure you've played that. But I've got all three of them now, so that really pleased with that. Right, we've got a couple of shooters next, I think. This first one, Macross. Dirt cheap if I remember right, this one. I'm sure this is like less than a £5. It's not as good as Macross on the Super Nintendo, unfortunately. But it was alright from memory. I've not played this since I bought it. can transform, obviously being a Macross game. It's pretty good. Very basic shooter, but not, but you know, you can't go wrong for the money. Because like I say, it's dirt cheap. So, you know, it's well worth the £5 or whatever it's going to cost you. Right, next up, nice blue cartridge. We've got Volgard 2. Who's this boy? Not sure. All in Japanese. Can't. It's not come on properly. That's better, I think. Can't remember if this was good. Really tiny sprites. Yes, I remember now. Got a bullet and a bomb. A bit like sort of Scramble. Replenish my energy. Music's very repetitive on this one. I mean, there's no music really, it's just a loop of about 5 seconds. Quite busy, lots going on. But it's not a bad game again, really. I'm sure this was quite cheap. The music is quite annoying, I've got to say. But it's not a bad game. It's nothing special, don't get me wrong, but you wouldn't want to be paying loads. But I'm sure, I'm sure this was like less than a tenner. You know, it's worth a blast at that. Right, we've got 2 left. Next up, we've got Scoon, which is not. I love these Irem cartridges, ones with the light on, and they've got the graphics on the back and the top label as well. Fantastic. Oh dear, that didn't feel too good actually. Requires a bit more cleaning. Yeah, Irem cartridge 86. This is really, really good. In the hunt on the Famicom, you could say. Really cutesy style. Again, you've got a bomb and like a missile. We've taken a hit already. And you can save all these dudes that you rescue from down here. A bit like Choplifter really, I suppose. Taking a hit. Honestly, this is really good. Right, the last one today. We've got another Konami game, and we've got Dracula Kid. Sorry, Dracula Kid. Which is obviously the sort of cartoony version of Castlevania. Much in the it's got like the big sort of chibi head characters, a bit like the Splatterhouse game on the Famicom as well. This is really good as well. I'm not sure if this came out in Europe. I'm not sure. I've not seen this, but I'm now NES expert. I love this graphical style, just like Splatterhouse, like I say. Much rather have this than realism. Really nice looking, funky tunes, plays well. Really, really good this is. Your character, the enemy characters like little knights and Frankensteins. Just so cool. Anyway, you get the idea. Real quality game that is. This is dragged on way longer than I was expecting. So sorry if sorry for the length of this video. That's if anybody's still watching. Let me know what you think about any of that lot. There'll be some more Famicom and some more Colecovision to come. But thanks for watching anyway. Sayonara.